Hello, my name is Zombie878 and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this YouTube video, we'll be going back to my PvP system I made and we'll be upgrading it to make it a lot better because I've been working on that for the past few days. Okay, so first we're gonna just make a few custom events real quick. So just type in EVE, gonna spawn in a event sender. We're gonna place that somewhere on the wall. Let's place it right here. Oh, I mean event definition. We're gonna spawn in a event receiver and we're gonna spawn in a event sender. Now, just like my custom event tutorials, we're going to change the event definition and we're going to change the name to start game. That's name something. You can go to the event receiver and you'll see start game right here, your custom event. So whenever your custom event activates, the event receiver will get the signal from it activating your custom event and activate whatever else. And to get it to activate, we're also going to want this to be start game. And we're going to change the target to all. The reason we're going to change the target to all is we want it to be synced. So when we start the game, everybody gets the HUD and everything on their screen. I'm actually gonna rename this to start sync game. Just so synced. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and rename it the start sync game. And whatever you name your custom event to, it's just gonna rename this, so you don't need to worry about changing all these. I'm gonna move this up here. And we are going to start by getting a text gadget. Type in text and just place it on the wall somewhere. Place it right here. There we go. And we are going to change this to start. This will be our start button. You could actually use a button, but I'm going to explain why I like using this. Go and place it right there so I can just go up to it and click it. The reason I like doing this is because you can use the interaction volume. And using the interaction volume with this kind of stuff makes it a lot easier. So just go ahead and get your interaction volume. And we're going to cover the start button with it. Make sure it gets your whole button. And we are going to rename the interaction volume prompt to start game. And now when we hover over it, it's going to say start game, but if we click it, it does nothing. Now to get the custom event to work, we're going to move this down here. And we're going to, on use, it's going to lock this so people can't spam the start game button. And right when you use it and it locks, it's going to start the sync game event. And what that does is it sends a signal here, and this is how we're going to start our PvP circuits. Let's move this over, move this down a bit. Let's get some HUD chips, the gun handle in this video. So we're going to spawn in a HUD element constant chip and rename this T1. Well, actually, let's just say Team 1. Team 1. Move the HUD element wherever you want. Don't use primary or secondary because that won't show a number. I'm going to put this in the lower left. And team 1 is going to be blue. Rename this to team 1. The value is going to start at 0. And the max value, I'm just going to put that at 5. So I can show you an easy example, but the max value is the max score you want for a team to win. So if you want the team to get 75 points or 100 points, you're going to want to set this max value to that number. Now we're going to preview the HUD element. You see it right there. Let's go ahead and hide it. Next, we're going to get the display HUD element chip. Going to place one of these here. And we're going to copy another one down here. We're going to change the top one to true, and we're going to change the bottom one to false. Well, it's already false. So what this is going to do is whenever we hit this and it locks this and starts the sync game event, we're going to have the event signal go into here. So whenever we click it, the HUD will come right up on game start for everybody. Let's go ahead and reset the components. And we're not going to connect this yet because we don't got a way to end the game. But when the game starts, it will show you the HUD. We're going to do the same thing with Team 2. So just copy all this down. And rename everything to Team 2. Of course, you're going to want to make sure that the HUD element is in a different spot. Otherwise, it will create problems. And you do not want to have those problems because it's really annoying. And there we go. We're also going to connect this to the true. So when this shows up, this will also show up. We are going to get a get HUD element max value. Going to put this right here, Get HUD element value. Just going to place it above this. We are going to get a set HUD element value, and I'm just going to place it randomly over here. Yeah, I'm just going to place it randomly over here. So now we're going to get an int variable. Type in int v. It should come right up. We're just going to place this right here and put an add chip under it. We are going to rename this one to, I'm just going to say T1 score. So I know that this is team 1 score value, and we're going to change this to sync. And what this will do is this will just make it so everybody can see what the score is. Because if it wasn't synced, then if one person got a score, it would only show up on their screen, and we don't want that. Next, we're going to go ahead and just copy this down and just rename this to T2 score. Okay, make sure this one's synced too. And now that we have team 1 score and T2 score, let's connect this to the sync value. Connect this to the HUD element and connect the execute of the int to the input of the set HUD element. And we're also going to connect the int to the set HUD int. Now we're going to copy this again, but this time we are going make sure to copy all of this. Using a game, we're going to need to make our own health. So go ahead and rename this HUD element to health. And I don't know if you would rather have the health be a number or not a number. I mean, it works either way, but I'm just going to have it be the primary bar and change it to green. I'm going to have the health value start at 100. And the max value is going to be 100. If we preview the HUD element, the health bar appears right there. We are also going to have this come up when the game starts. So go ahead and connect this to here. And we're going to take away, well, don't take away the sync yet. First, we need to rename it. So go ahead and name it to health. And then we're going to take off the sync. And now we have the health right here. We're also going to want to change this to subtract because our health isn't going to go up. Our health is just going to keep going down. We're going to take the HUD element value and we're actually going to place this right here. So it's going to take the health of what you have, which is going to keep track of that value, and we're going to connect this over here. So when the game starts, it's going to set this to 100, your health value. And we are actually going to leave this empty for now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and spawn the gun because we can't finish the circuits without the gun. Okay, so we're going to get an animation chip just so we can place the gun in the air and it'll be easier to make it. Get an animation chip and get a gun handle. Now to get the gun handle, you're going to have to make sure that you have the creative tools beta on. To get the creative tools beta on, you're going to have to go into this room, settings, scroll all the way down until you see allow creative tools beta. This will allow it so you can use the gun handle and other things that are in beta, but you cannot save anything as an invention. As you can see, it disabled that. Okay, we're going to move that up a bit. We're going to make this grabbable. Well, first, let's make this a one-handed pistol with 12 bullets. You can go ahead through the settings if you want. I'm going to turn off the highlight beacon and make it grabbable. Now I can go ahead and grab it, and it will go back because of animation chip. Okay, now here is what we actually want. We want a projectile launcher. So go ahead and get a projectile launcher. And we are going to place it like this. Because the bullet comes out of the smallest way. The bullet doesn't come out over here. The bullet comes out of here. So you want to match this part to the firing part of your gun. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this. We're actually going to move this above the gun handle. Next, we're going to get a clamp. The clamp will allow it so we can bring both them. We're going to connect the bottom to the gun handle and the top to the projectile launcher. Now, if I go ahead and grab this, it should also bring the projectile launcher wherever the gun handle goes. Now we're going to connect the projectile launcher to the gun handle. And we are going to make it so when we fire on gunfire, when we fire the gun, it will fire in the firing direction of this. You can also go into your projectile launchers and change some of the settings if you want, whether you want a paintball, cork, whatever, color of the bullet if you want, count speed, all this. Already did a video on the gun handle. We're going to change the damage value to 50, 30, 10. And other than that, that is it. I'm also going to, yeah. So now you can see it fires, but obviously it doesn't reload, but I made a fix to this. Go ahead and reset the components so the bullets come back, I think. And we are going to edit the gun handle. Real quick, we're going to delete this. Going to disconnect, reload, start, reload, complete it. We are going to get a delay chip. Place it right below the subtract. And we are going to get a less than or equal to chip. Less than or equal to. Okay, we are going to take the current ammo count, not the max ammo count, the current ammo count, and we're going to make it so if it's less or equal to 0 bullets in your gun, then it's going to activate this delay chip, which will act as your reload. So just gonna make the reload 1.5 seconds. This is going to run the reload start, and after the 1.5 seconds is done, it's going to refill your gun handle with 12 bullets. And we're going to connect the else to here, and you know, if your gun isn't less or equal to 0 bullets. And this makes it so when you have 0 bullets and I click it, it's going to take 1.5 seconds to reload. As you can see, I can't spam it until that 1.5 seconds is over. You could put a reload subtitle or something to tell you that the person is reloaded. Let's go ahead and do that real quick so I can actually show you. Yeah, get a subtitle chip, connect it to reload, start it, and make the subtitle reloading. I feel like I messed up. I don't think. Okay, yeah, reloading, dot, dot, dot. And this is going to be on your screen for the reload delay, which is going to be 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds. Let me make sure that the reload on my gun handle also matches that. Reload duration 1.5. And now, as you can see, when I run out of bullets, it's going to tell me that I'm reloading. And when it's done reloading, it will stop. Okay, so now that we got the gun handle, we're going to make a few more custom events. So come up here. Going to copy this down. Going to copy this down. And we're going to copy this down. So this event receiver, we are actually going to make this end sync the game. whenever we do need to end the game. Just make sure to submit it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, and this custom event is going to be the one that keeps track of the damage of the players and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to name this to player hit. Player hit. Submit that name, and we're going to add some new properties to it. The first one we want to add is we're going to add a player variable, and the player variable will be firing player. This will be the player that's firing the gun, so firing player. Gonna add that property. We're gonna add another property. We're actually gonna scroll all the way down, and we are going to get the projectile launcher, and this will be called the projectile launcher source. Go ahead and add that. We're going to add another player property. This one will be the player that gets hit, so hit player. You don't need to name it hit or firing player. You could also name it attack, whatever you want. Just make sure that the property is the same, like the type that I'm choosing here. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the int variable, and this will be body, what was it again? So it was body part. Add that property. We're adding another int property. This is going to be the damage. And we're also going to add the hit position. If you're wondering, the hit position is the vector 3. It's not the vector component down here. Vector component is something else. It's the vector 3. Make sure it's vector 3. We're going to name this one hit position. And we are going to get another vector 3 and have this one be hit normal. Okay, and now that we have our event that basically mimics the projectile launcher, we're going to make one more custom event. This one will be called player out. I'm going to submit that. And this is just going to have two player variables in it. This one will have attacker, or you can name this the firing player. I'm just going to name it the firing player because I already have it up there. It won't mess anything up if you name these things the same in different chips. So firing player and hit player. Okay, and now that we're done making our custom events, let's go back over here. Let me explain what I was talking about before. So like I was saying, if you spawn in the event receiver right here, usually you would go into here, and where is the event? You would use the, where is it? Projectile hit player. Yeah, you would spawn in this with a combatant receive damage chip and connect this. And it would basically make it so the gun would kill you and do damage. But we are going to make it work outside of the chip. We're not going to go ahead and make outputs on the outside of the chip because we want it working for every single gun. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to get a vent sender. And the event that I made, player hit, we're going to go ahead and get player hit. And the target is going to be local, which is the player that's using the gun. And what this does is this will make it so it will send a signal through player hit whenever this activates. And because it's sending a signal in this chip, I can receive the signal out here by using another player hit chip. So we're just gonna go ahead and connect everything, connect firing player. Oh, this is different. Oh, this is a Rec Room object. Well, we don't exactly need that. Hit player, body part, damage, hit position, and hit normal. Just make sure all that's connected. You don't need the projectile source connected. But just for me, and just connect it there. And now, if you hit somebody with this and it does damage, it gets the attacker and defender. We can get a vent receiver and get the player hit event. And everything that's happening in that chip is going to output right here. I'm going to move this over a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to move this up here. So where was I over here? Need to remember. Oh yeah, I forgot to set up teams. I guess we can do teams afterwards. Because this is more of a single player thing. Let me just make sure it works though. Because that doesn't do any damage though. But you see how it shows you that it hit me, Zombie 878. Shows the damage, which is 50, hit position, hit normal, and the source. So we are going to connect this to our health chip down here. We're going to connect the damage here. So basically the damage that the person will I'm sorry, we're going to disconnect this and then connect this over here. So whenever you hit a player, it's going to subtract the health that they already have, which is the max health. And it's going to take away the damage from that. And it's going to go over here. Next, we are going to... I'm having a hard time because I had it kind of set up in my other room, but at the same time, I don't really want to do that. But yeah, you see, now I'm going to take damage. But I'm not going to respawn. Go ahead and reset everything so I can reset. We're going to get it equals to chip. Equals. Gonna place it right here. And we're gonna get an if chip. Well, actually, don't use the equals chip. We're going to get a less than or equals to chip. Do I have that? Yes, I do. We're going to be using a less than or equals to chip instead. Okay, so we're going to connect the health to this. If your health is less than or equal to 0, which it's true, then when it sets the HUD value, it constantly checks if it's less or equal to 0. And if it is less or equal to 0, it will give you a roll to stop. Ooh, so let's get the roll chips. Just type in roll and it should pop up player add roll and player remove roll. And we're actually going to use the roll over here. The roll is called eliminated. So we're not going to make our own roll, but you can make your own roll if you want to do your own thing. Okay, now that we got that, if this is true, it will add the roll to the out player. So we're going to get another event receiver, getting a lot of event receivers. And we are going to name this one to the player out. And we're also going to get another event sender. Do I got a event sender here somewhere? Yeah, I do. You can copy this event sender, but make sure that this event sender is local and not all as the target. And we're going to change this to player out. Okay, so what this is going to do is when your health is less than 0, it's going to go into this event sender called player out. It's going to get the firing player, which is here, and the hit player, which is a player taking damage. And it's going to come out this event receiver, and it's going to activate this. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Oh, we're running out of room. So yeah, when your health equals 0, it's going to start this event sender right here, which will get your attacker and defender, and they will pop out in here. And it will add the eliminated to the person who is out, which is a defender. And after a delay, I don't know how long you want your respawn to be, but I'll make my respawn 3 seconds. Let me make this bigger. I didn't know the circuits would reach out this much. I'm going to go ahead and get a delay chip. So right when it adds the eliminated roll to the defender, it starts a delay chip for 3 seconds, which is going to be my delay. And then after the delay, it will remove the roll and respawn you. We're going to be using the new respawn points. I'm gonna place a respawn point right here. And we're gonna be using, is it this one or is it this one? Respawn point, respawn player. Yeah, we're gonna be using this one. Because with the other one, you have to get a specific spawn point. But this one will just respawn the player wherever. This will respawn the defender. You can have res effects enabled or disabled if you want. And we're also going to get a subtitle chip to tell you you got out by someone. So I can show you that if I shoot myself with the pistol, it's going to tell me that I got out by myself. To string, and we're going to want a string format. Okay, we're going to take the attacker, and the attacker will be connected to the toString, and the toString will go into the value. The format is going to be the squiggly bracket 0 squiggly bracket, which will be the player, and then we're going to say that player killed you. Or you could say squiggly bracket 1 with another squiggly bracket in case you want to be like blank killed blank. We're going to add another input. We're going to move this over a bit. Move this over a bit. And we are going to copy the string chip. And we're going to get the defender, put him in value 2. And now when I die, it's going to tell me for the 3 seconds that I'm out that the person that killed you eliminated you. So let me go ahead and show you. Start the game. The HUD comes on my screen. Grab the gun. And it says that I killed me. That was kind of in the wrong order though. Need to reset it. To where's the reset? You don't want this to run after the delay. You want this to run before the delay. And yeah, after the delay, we want you to set your health back to 100. So we are going to connect this here and set your health back to 100. So now if I start the game, my health is 100. Shoot myself, says I got eliminated, I can't move anywhere. Then it will reset me and I can move again. Now let's now that we have this set up, this basic system, let's move on to the scoring system because the score doesn't go up and down. And this one is going to be for switching teams. So let's go ahead and spawn in another one. And I am going to rename this. Wait a second. Need to get it. Yeah, I'm gonna rename this to switching team or switch team. And now we're going to have it. So whenever you hit this, oh, first we're going to name the interaction prop to switch teams to. Don't want people getting confused about what button it is to start the game. So we are going to make 2 roll chips. 2 roll chips. And the roll chips are going to be named T1 and T2 for both teams. Now we want to get an int variable. Just gonna copy this one and bring it down here. I'm going to rename this to team. And I'm going to go ahead and unsync this so everyone can be on their own team whenever they want to switch. I'm going to get another player add role and another player remove role. Well, first before that, we're going to get an equals and if chip again. So get a equals chip and a if chip, and we're going to copy that down. So there's one for each team, one for team 1 and one for team 2. This will be 0 and this will be 1. Well, I'll make this 1 and this 2 actually. Now we're going to have it so if you use this, it will make the team value go up 1 for you, and it will go over to the if chip. And we're going to connect the else values. So we're going to get a player add role and a player remove role. Move this over a little bit so it's not running into each other. And copy this down another time. We're going to have each of them say T1. This will add T1 and this will remove T1. No, this will add T1 and remove T2. Yeah. Add T1 and remove T2. This will add T2 and remove T1. And this will decide what team you're on. So if your team value equals 1, then it will put you on team 1. But if your team value equals 2, then you will be put on team 2. The player who used the chip. Gonna connect that to the player who used the chip. We're gonna spawn in another event receiver. Just take one from up here. Is this an event receiver? No, it's not an event receiver. We want a event receiver. We're gonna copy this event receiver and place it right here. And we're going to have it when a player joins the room, then they're going to get the T1 role. This is basically to have it where if someone joins the room and starts the game right away, they won't be on they'll be on a team instead of not being on a team. Connect this to the player who joined, and now if you join the room, you'll be on team 1. And of course, we need to reset this to what is it? We're gonna reset this to 1. So if it's not equal to 1 or 2, it's gonna go up here and reset it to 1. And it's going to, yeah, go ahead and give you team 1. So now if I go ahead and, let me pull up my roles real quick to show you. If I go into game roles and go to show only my roles, I have none of the roles. But if I click this, I'll have T1. If I click it again, it will say I'm on team 2. If I click it again, it just switches back and forth between team 1 and 2. Okay, now we're gonna make it so the team scores finally go up. We're gonna get a player has role. And we are going to place it. Is this where, yeah, we're gonna place player has role right over here. We're gonna move this to the side a bit and up a bit. We are going to say the top one is going to be T1 and T2. And it's going to see if the person who's died, which is the hit player, has one of these roles. And if they do have one of these roles, it'll add the score to the other team. So if I go ahead and connect it like that, connect the else chips to each other. Now after this runs and tells you who got you out, it's going to check if the person who got out has T1 or T2, which will tell you if you're on the team or not. Which, since I'm the hit player, it says I'm on team 1. So because I'm on team 1 and I'm dead, it's going to add a score to team 2. And if I was on team 2 and I was dead, then it would add a score to team 1. Another thing is we are going to make it so when the game ends, the scores over here go back to 0. Oh, and sorry about this. We're actually gonna disconnect this and connect it up to the HUD element value. I forgot to connect these chips. We need to go ahead and connect these chips like this. This will just get the value that you start the game with, which is 0. And this will be your score. Okay, so now we need have an event receiver called end synced game, which we already made it, so we just need to go ahead and find it. Now we are going to get a greater than or equals to chip. Greater than or equal to. And we're gonna place an if chip over here. Gonna copy this for the bottom team. And we're gonna connect it to a score. So if your score is greater than 5, greater or equal to 5, then it will end the game. Oh. Why did I use a event receiver? I need an event sender. Event sender. Here we go. Um, We need to make sure that the event sender ends sync game and the target is all. Gonna place it right here. And if a team score is greater or equal to the max score, then the game will end. Oh, I already copied it down. Why am I copying it again? Greater or equal to 5. And it will end the game. And of course, to finish things up, we're going to get a set lock chip for the interaction volume. And we're going to have it where it will set the lock to false when the game ends. I need a event receiver. Event receiver. There we go, event receiver. Yeah, and we're going to change this to in-sync the game. And now when the game ends, you can now start the game again because it unlocks. If you want to, I will make a part 2 to this video to show you, more about making a PvP game, like setting up the spawns like this one, maybe working with a few more things, guns and stuff. But as you can see, starting the game, I'll shoot. It says I killed me. Did not add the score. Why didn't it add the score? The reason the score didn't work is because since I'm the host, I need to give myself the role after resetting the room. You guys don't have to worry about that because when you join the game, it's just going to give you team 1. But like I said, if you're on a team and you go ahead and shoot someone on an opposite team, it's going to, do that. Oh yeah, I should probably also make it so you can't spam it. Game, this sets this to false. We also need it to set the HUD chips to false, so that gets off your screen when the game ends. Anything we need to do over here. Next, we're going to make it so you can't spam the people. Like you saw how I was spamming myself with the gun and it kept going up by 1. So let's see, is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. We're going to get this and we are going to rename this to you can rename it to whatever. I'm going to rename this to Killed. And I'm going to take the sync off. Okay, so if the person's health reaches 0, besides it going here first, it's going to go here, and it's going to add 1. And it's going to, I'm going to get a equals to chip. I'm going to get a if chip. Okay, and now if you kill someone, this is going to activate for them. And it's going to add 1. And this will only activate 1 time. This will make it so you can't spam somebody with bullets and keep getting score from them. And of course, Once you respawn, we're going to need to reset this to 0. And another problem is even though the game isn't started, you can still kind of kill people. We're going to go ahead and change that. Going to spawn an if chip right next to the game start. And we're going to connect it to the bool variable underneath set lock. This will check if this is true or not, and this will tell you if the game is started, basically. So if the game is started, this is going to be true. We are going to connect this here and move this up here next to the player hit event receiver. So since this is connected right here, we are going to disconnect that and connect it to the F chip. So this will not activate unless the game is started. And on top of that, let's get an equals to chip and an if chip. We're also going to make it so you can't shoot yourself. Go ahead and get the firing player and hit player. And if the firing player and hit player equals the same exact thing, then nothing will happen. But if they don't equal the same exact person, then it goes down here. You also may need it if player is local chip. I don't know if this is necessary, but the last time that I did test this, I did use it if player is local chip. So you might just want to go ahead and get it if player is local and connect it to the hit player. So it checks if the hit player is local and then it will take away the health. And there we go. A PvP system. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and if this video hits, let's say, 10 likes, then I'll make a part 2 to this, showing you more things to do with PvP maps and stuff like that. Okay, see you in the next video.